Good morning everyone and welcome to a new vlog. I'm in Serbia and I'm in Novi Sad, a big city but an historical city. I arrived yesterday on the bus from Zlatibor, 6.5 hours on the bus. A loud bus, it was like being on a jet. It was crazy and it was also very bumpy, but settled into the hostel. Yes, I'm back in a hostel. All the fun of the fair, and went to these big shops, big shopping centre here, big shopping centre over there, got some food, settled in and planned what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. So it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. This is rush hour Novi Sad style. But anyway, what's to do in Novi Sad? There's a fortress, there's lots of historical monuments, there's the Danube, of course, the fantastic river Danube. I'm going to be walking along the river, checking out the history of another beautiful part of northern Serbia. So let's get on with the day. Let's head to the river. So right on the edge of the Danube is the Beljanski Park. And the first thing I need to do after sitting on that bus all day yesterday is unlock my body, because I feel like I'm all out of alignment. So I'm going to find somewhere and do some stretching. Beautiful little park. Yeah, Novi Sad is a big hustling, bustling town. You can see that there's a lot of different levels of welfare. There's a lot of people sitting around looking a bit glum yesterday. There's a lot of cycle tracks though, and there's also a lot of big shops and a lot of big restaurants and stuff. So obviously a town of diverse economic stratas. But the river flows through it all. So just heading down to the river, looking very cultural precinct. Just had a good warm up, good stretch for like 15 minutes, fantastic. I feel like my body's working together now. This looks like an old warehouse precinct. Galleries, lots of funky wall art, and onwards down to the river. So we've got temperatures in the high 30s today, which is one of the reasons I'm out and about early. So there's these little areas along the river, little enclaves, like little beaches where you actually have to pay to go in. It's only about an Australian dollar, 70 dinars. And then they've got like play equipment for the kids and bars, and it's like a more secluded, cared for area. It's very strange, I've not seen that before. Maybe these are all. So I'm walking along up to the bridge here, and then I'm going to go over to the Petrovaradin Fortress, which is like 17th, 18th century. That's something I've never seen so strikingly before. All these trees have got the parasite mistletoe on them, you know, from the Christmas sort of idea, kissing under the mistletoe. Huge, great bunches of mistletoe on all these trees here. Never seen it stand out like that. I've seen, like, you know, the odd one or two. Well, finally, this is the first place I've been able to get down onto the riverbank, onto a beach. Along this walk, the sand is so fine, it's shining with, I don't know what it is, like silicates or whatever in the sand. But got the fortress over there, the remains of the Franz Joseph Bridge. The bridge I'll be crossing in a little while, and a part of the fortress which runs all along the hilltop there. It's absolutely stunning. I've never seen a beach like this before on a river. It's glorious. And people obviously come down to swim, and the water actually looks really clear. So big up the Danube. There's a bivalve doing its work. So yeah, these pillars in the middle here are the remains of an old bridge, the Franz Joseph Bridge. There's the Petrovaradin Fortress, Petrovaradin, and apparently the locals refer to it as the Fortress of Gibraltar on the Danube because of its significant domineering position overlooking the Danube and the city. Wow, that is definitely sewage. You can smell, distinctive smell. That's probably why these fishermen are fishing just downstream from it as well, because there's so much food in the water. And it is Petrovaradin Fortress. So got a really moving war memorial there. It says he will be burned in the flames of the flames, 1941 to 1945 in the Jewish language. So I'm guessing it's to do with the people who were killed during the war, the Jewish citizens of Europe. Lots of names and inscriptions along the bank here, people from the area. So lots of distinctively historical architecture when you cross the bridge. Cobblestone streets, these beautiful old houses, and yeah, old town I guess. Now I'm showing you these colourful buildings, all painted in these subtle shades, but this clock tower up here is famous because the minute hand and the hour hand are reversed, so it looks like it's 11:45, but really it's just before 9 o'clock. So that's unusual, isn't it, Novi Sad? So this is the famous Belgrade Gate, which leads into the old part of the city. I'm on the outside now. I just wanted to see the plaques and the memorials and see the structure of it all. So according to AI, and this is quite interesting, the Petrovaradin Fortress, nicknamed the Gibraltar on the Danube, has a history spanning thousands of years, evolving from a prehistoric settlement in Neolithic times, you know, sort of like nearly 20,000 years ago. It's got ancient origins, Roman times history, Byzantine times history. It was a monastic stronghold back in the 1200s, and then there was a period of Ottoman rule, and finally there was the Battle of Petrovaradin, when Prince Eugene of Savoy led a heavily outnumbered Austrian army to dethrone the Ottomans here. So that's when this place was really at its height, and that was around 1716. The Battle of Petrovaradin, which became Petrovaradin, I guess. Awesome. Anyway, let's go up and have a look at this fortress. So we've got this beautiful old church here, really kind of eroded and corroded. But then look at this stairway up to the fortress. How cool does that look? Proper ancient steps to get your steps in. While there's so many brown leaves around it, it's almost like an autumn scene. But we're only on the 11th of August. It just shows you how the heat wave has affected the area, and indeed it has a lot of Europe. When I came through the fields yesterday and the agricultural land, a lot of the crops looked decimated, just so singed and burnt and dry and crisp. And I was reading recently, like, you know, the level of crop failure, particularly in England, is huge, you know, so it's going to put real food pressure on the European community, perhaps, you know. And then there's been all the wildfires, etc. So yeah, incredible scenes. So I'm at the rear of the fortress now, looking over the outer suburbs, industrial zones, industrial premises and complexes along the river, farmland, little villages. Apparently there's lots of tunnels which run under the fortress, which would be interesting. I don't know whether you need a tour. I don't have my torch with me. I don't know how dark it is down there, but There's a bit to it, a bit to the fortress to explore, that's for sure. There's lots of defensive layers. You've got an outer moat, inner wall, inner moat, and all these places where enemies could be, you know, kind of cornered and attacked. Lots of firing positions through the walls. Interesting structures. Well thought out, that's for sure. Whoever designed it, obviously been through a few battles. And then, my God, we've got an inner moat as well. Yeah, so lots of positions where you could fire down on the enemy. Wow. A proper stronghold in Novi Sad. Alright, so what's inside? We've got art galleries, cafes, Leopold I Hotel, restaurants, and a nightclub. Ooh. So there's so many rooms, so many buildings up here that have been repurposed for all sorts of things, and galleries, hotels, as I said, and looks like apartments. Incredible. Wow, the Danube is really wide here. Fantastic, lots of people fishing in boats along the riverbank. Very impressive. Beautiful. Novi Sad, good choice, Kev. Good place to roam. Although I think to myself, well, after I see this bit today, what else is there? So that will be the fun, exploring. But the main thing is there's loads of walking to be done here. There's lots of little gym parks along the river. You know, you can spend a day at the beach having a swim upstream from the effluent, and yeah, lots to do. Fascinating. Do love rivers and history. So different to Zlatibor, where I was last time, because everything is modern and new, and dare I say, about consumption, you know, and about the snow side activities and stuff, but nothing really historical to revel in the past. So this is really interesting for me, and I hope it is to you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to Noggins Roams, and drop me a comment. It's a lovely restaurant on the top terrace, right by the old clock. So this is virtually all of the old town area there. You can tell by some of the older grey roofs over there, it's not all been refurbished. And I guess this was the old military barracks. Looks like a lot of gardens on the tops there, maybe for, you know, sustaining themselves during sieges or whatever. But spectacular. Wow, they are really into this, putting locks on gateways and bridges in Novi Sad. Like literally everything I've seen here is full of locks. In fact, there's a shop selling padlocks. Look, there's locks everywhere. Thousands of locks. Locks all over the place. Yeah, and these are all painted gold, so I'm guessing they do sell them. Or maybe that's just part of the tradition. Even on the park benches. And there is the famous drunken clock tower with the minute hands as hour hands and hour hands as minute hands. Lots of beautiful churches over there. Apparently there's a cathedral as well, which I'll go and see. I've decided I'm not going to make time for churches, but maybe cathedrals, well, you know. Anyway, I think this just about concludes the fortress tour. It's superb, highly recommended. Really and truly beautiful up here, really, really nice. And apparently people come up here for sunset as well, and that would be, I think, as well spectacular. And you don't pay an entrance fee. There is a museum up here, but I might come and see that another day. So this is the Danube Park, because it's only 10:30, but already it is very hot if you're out in the sun, so lots of shade here. So I'm just walking through, gonna hit a few supermarkets, see what else I can see. I just found that there's a contemporary art gallery here, so I'm always keen to visit those. So that I will be doing. Oh, there's a little lake and a fountain. Public water fountains, what a blessing. I've been drinking the water from these fountains all throughout the Balkans. I've never had any problems, and they're everywhere. Normally in the centre of town, you know, they've been there hundreds of years or whatever, so it's a good way to rehydrate or hydrate, whatever way you want to look at it. Danube Park, very nice. More beautiful architecture and a little pedestrian precinct over there. Let's go and check it out. Lots of famous old buildings, early 1900s. Various famous people have lived in them, doctors and politicians, and now they're all repurposed. Dodo Pizza, Loris, Apothecary, galleries, traditional dress shops. Oh, what does the traditional dress of Serbia look like? Well, there you go. So here we've got the old Bishop's Palace around this beautiful square, and behind it is St George's Orthodox Cathedral, which I'm going to save for another day. I'm just doing a bit of a recce at the moment to see what I'm going to be seeing. What I do is I star a load of places on Google Maps before I go, and then as I go through them I tick them off, so then I know where I've been. Like, that is stunning. So this is obviously another massive part of the old town which has been restored. Same colour buildings, smaller houses, but same architecture. There's so many laneways and courtyards here filled with little restaurants and cafes and stuff. Looks very interesting. So, as always, I've struck gold. Yes, go Novi Sad. Loads to explore here. I mean, this place would be buzzing of a night. So yeah, it's turning into a very pleasant city to explore. So this beauty is the Holy Name of Mary Catholic Church, built in 1892 to 1894, the tallest in the Bačka region. It's absolutely massive. It's funny, it was built a long time ago, but the brickwork looks really plain, but then you've got all this beautiful carved stone. Let's see if it's open. So we've got the Serbian National Theatre over there, looking rather splendid. It's beautiful fountains and water features on the main road. Let's get in there, have a look. Just got some nice feta cheese, some delicious looking olives, all that type of stuff. Going good. And they sell all sorts of stuff in here. Food, clothing, hardware, all sorts of stuff. Don't exactly need anything, I'm just having a look. I could do with some new shorts at some point, perhaps. And a fruit and veg section. Lovely fresh produce. Wow, so many blueberries. Heaps of blueberries. Watermelon, caviar, all sorts of wine, corn and plums, everything you could possibly want. Lots of nuts. Wow, look at the blueberries. 450 dinars for a kilo. That's less than 10 US, less than 10 Australian dollars, and they are delicious. It's always good when you find a market. I always say this, but it's where the locals shop, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's real. Top stuff. And of course the omnipresent peppers, which you find everywhere in the Balkans. Nice, I'll be coming back there. Time to go and cool off. So just another sign of the heat, they've actually got drinking water tanks out. There was one in front of the big church in the old town. So you can come and fill up your water bottles and hydrate. So just a quick hostel tour. This is passenger hostel. This is the outside of passenger hostel. So basically it's a converted house, a bit of a courtyard, washing line, downstairs toilet, small kitchen area, good cable TV, and upstairs the beds are as you expect. I'm in a single bed, not a bunk bed, in a dormitory. This is 103 euros for 7 days. Another thing I've noticed about Novi Sad, everybody is cycling or getting around on skates or scooters. Very little reliance on electric vehicles here. Electric scooters, electric bikes. There's cycle paths everywhere, fully utilised by the population. It's really good to see. Good on them. Well, it's another day in Novi Sad. And what did I learn doing some research yesterday? Well, not all buses in Serbia are free. It depends on city by city, region by region. It depends on what the local council or municipality want to do. In Novi Sad, you have to pay for buses. So when I was jumping on and off buses yesterday, each time I faced a 6,000 dinar fine. So apparently it's a common mistake that tourists make, but you have to check when you go to a new town. I think there's a flat fee of 100 dinars, so it's still very reasonable. It's less than €1, but these things have to be known. So I'm back in the city centre at St George's Orthodox Cathedral. Beautiful looking building, beautiful golden dome up there, and hopefully it's open. It looks like they're doing a lot of restoration here, so we're going to go and have a look. Attention, construction site. But it's a lovely area. That's the Archbishop's Palace that I saw yesterday. It's closed for tourists. Another hot day today, mid-30s, but we can sort it out. So it really is a construction site. You can just get little glimpses of all the ornate decorations. Nice chandelier, a few pictures, but not too much. They're actively doing the restorations of the paintings and stuff, so it's awesome to see the upkeep. St George's being looked after. So there is lots of beautiful, interesting and diverse architecture around the city. Lots of old stuff, lots of new stuff. It's a real pleasure to walk around. Lots of cool graffiti, wall art, a beautiful old synagogue. Oh, that is a massive synagogue. It's as big as the cathedral. Absolutely huge. Completed in 1909. Now serves as a venue for concerts and cultural events. Designed by that man from Budapest, Lippo Baumholm. Designed more than 20 synagogues. So it's been another hot day. I'm down by the river to check out what on Google Maps is called Graffiti Jimi Hendrix. Now I don't know whether it's of Jimi Hendrix, a guitarist from the 60s, or it's a graffiti artist who calls himself Jimi Hendrix, but this is the start of it. And there's a lot here. This is a very built up landscape, lots of housing developments and stuff, but now that one there is particularly good. I shall have a walk around and see what I can see. I do like a bit of graffiti. It's funny in a way, isn't it? Graffiti is like tattoos on the body of the city. It's like, you know, randomized art. There's some interesting stuff here. Some tags I can't understand. Other just kind of plainer pictures. And it's what appears to be a football ground behind it. Oh yeah. So I think there's just an area where there's generalised graffiti. I don't think it's one particular piece which is attributed to Jimi Hendrix or of Jimi Hendrix. It's just graffiti in general. This is one of those paid beach areas. Got a few bits of entertainment going on, bit of music. Let's get down and see the water. So apparently it's International Youth Day. Restaurants, deck chairs, cinema going on. Lovely. Sunset over the Danube. There's actually a closed off beach area there and lifeguards as well. I noticed when I was down here the other day the current is pretty swift, so you'd have to know what you were doing. Best to swim in a safe area. So the fortress is down that way. This is obviously just one of the other bridges. Wow, I can't believe it's such defined beach areas on a river. Nothing I've seen like in London or anywhere, that's for sure, or in Brisbane. It's all a bit dodgy there, but this is incredible. The sand is so nice. Beautiful environment. Good on you, Serbia. So for your information, if you ever want to come here, this is known as the Strand, this area, the Strand Beach. Got a real Bali, Thailand vibe going on. It's incredible. So I'm out this morning walking the laneways and back streets to another people's market, another green market. This one is closer to the railway bridge. The names are pretty hard to pronounce, but if you look on Google Maps you'll see that little shopping trolley motif which designates market. And yeah, another lovely morning. People are up and about. Lots of restoration building going on. Let's find the market. So that's a railway bridge I'm talking about, the bridge over the river. And just along here, I think just here actually the market starts. By the looks of it, there's a few bikes outside the gate. So it kind of looks like a little bit of everything. Food, homewares, foods and haberdashery, coffee, tin goods. Apparently the locals love coming to these markets, you know, more of a traditional kind of atmosphere. And you can get some bulk stuff. Yeah, it's kind of wholesale retail. Got a lot of different stuff here. I think the main difference between the last market I went to and this one is this one you can drive to, whereas the other one is like enclosed in the heart of the city. So if you wanted to buy a lot of goods, you'd have to carry them in and out and find a park and that kind of thing. So I'm guessing this one is a little bit more orientated towards wholesale. Still interesting to come and see though. If the locals like coming here, then I want to know why. What's going on? Obviously cheap prices, lots of onions. But anyway, now I'm going to go and find me a Sherman tank from Kelly's Heroes. So there's an even better look at the railway bridge. Looks like it's got a pedestrian section as well if you ever want to walk across. And the market entrance is just opposite those pink buildings over there. Fortress from the other day. Water's looking a bit sketchy. I got a comment on my TikTok, said you know, basically this guy sounded like a real environmentalist. He was just saying how many swimming pools of raw sewage go into the Danube around here every day. And I think he was kind of mocking the people who go to the beach and swim, thinking it's a paradise. But paradise is in the mind, isn't it, you know? So if you believe you're somewhere beautiful, then you are. More markets. Just a load of permanent benches that people come and put their stuff on. It's pretty cool. So right next to this tank we're going to see in a minute is the Contemporary Art Gallery. Booyah! 2 in 1. Are there any rare valuables I'm pointing my camera at? Should I buy? Buy, sell, buy. Bakers, fish, meat, cheese. Sausage. People on the grog, on the beer this time in the morning, I don't know, God bless them. Mind you, they're market boys, aren't they? They get up really early. Oh, there's heaps of food options here. Just see a shop called Birrick King. Cafes. Backpacks. So this little gem of a market is right next to the Contemporary Art Market, as I say, and considering how many food counters here are present, I would say this place is very busy of a night time perhaps. People selling hot food, and probably more of the shops are open. So it may be worth a return visit. Oh yeah, Kelly's Heroes tank. So this was a tank, a Sherman M-class tank used by the Yugoslav army in World War II, and then later used in the 1970s film Kelly's Heroes, starring Clint Eastwood. So that's pretty amazing to see. The tracks are incredible. They're actually made of metal. I thought they were rubberized, but I suppose they would be tough as anything. But my God, what a solid beast. Could take hell of a battering, I guess. Huge gun, room for machine gunners, and then there's some other associated war armaments here. And then just across from this is the art gallery, so we'll be going over there in a minute. Oh no, actually I think this is the art gallery. That is another gallery, another museum I'm going to be going another day, which I've just found. So but yeah, that is it, the famous Kelly's Hero tank in Novi Sad, Serbia. Really good to see. So this place, this museum of Vojvodina is 2-layered. Downstairs is an art museum which has various travelling exhibitions, and then upstairs is a permanent exhibition of World War II relics. So, beautiful garden. I misheard her. She was referring to spices, not spaces. Oh my word. The spice trade. Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese migrations. I love it. Looks really interesting. Lots of information. And then like a stall set out like a bazaar, you know, with all the mounded spices. Beautiful. There's some really nice pictorial stuff, but unfortunately it is all in Cyrillic or foreign language, so I can't read it. Maybe the QR codes will help. So, upstairs is the War Museum. Oh, I'm in English up here, that's cool. By the way, the QR codes didn't work downstairs. Really interesting. Lots of documentation and pictures of heroes, important figures, some sculptures. Pretty difficult to make heads or tails of what's going on, but you can tell it's all very relevant to the local area, that's for sure. And there's a lot of information about repression and economic sort of downturns when the Yugoslavs took over. Yeah, so overall it's another disturbing page in the history of Europe, unfortunately. Some really graphic pictures. And I suppose you just have to come out and look towards today how things are flourishing, you know, with the European Union and how the world has changed for the better. But it's a bit... It's a bit wary. Send help, send help. So today I'm starting the day with a visit to a few galleries. It's going to be another hottie. Had a great sleep last night. And yeah, going to hit a couple of galleries and see what the regional art is like and history. One is a pure gallery, a collection of a famous person, and then the other one is dedicated to the history of the region in general. So I'm pretty sure this is the gallery. It's next to a huge gallery of religiously inspired art. But anyway, Pavle Beljanski was a famous Serbian diplomat and collected Serbian and Yugoslav art. So this is it, I guess. Beautiful building. So apparently Pavle Beljanski lost all his family in some bombings in the war, so decided to donate his collection to the Serbian people. Some really great characters captured in the artworks. Village life, city life, fantastic. So many different styles of painting. Some great pictures, great characters. Really enjoyable to slow down and look at art. Very nice. A reproduction of an old master's salon filled with paintings and furniture. Yeah, so basically this is the upstairs section, which was, I think, put together after his death, after Pavle's death. So this is actually what he wore as a diplomat. 1937. Incredible. So there's a lot more paintings upstairs as well as the diplomat's room. It's beautiful works, a real diverse collection of subject matter. Still life scenes, portraits. Very good. So a great museum overall, and if you go on a Thursday it's free. It only cost me 200 dinars, which is less than $3 Australian, but that was really good. Very interesting and really knowledgeable people in there. It's like they live and breathe the art, you know. They know all the history of why he bought what he bought and where the influence came from, etc. So anyway, enough said. Beautiful. A city full of beautiful things. So back in town this morning, it's a Saturday, it's the weekend, to see the Vojvodina Museum. And apparently there's a whole collection of artifacts here. Roman gilded helmets apparently are the standout. It's opposite the beautiful park. So let's go and check out this museum. I hope it opens at 10 o'clock. Well, the museum's permanent exhibition is closed until further notice, so I'm going to give it a miss. Let's go and have a look at these stones. That's one of those things, isn't it? I don't always fancy walking around museums, it's got to be said, so I'm not that fussed. It's like, well, I tried to go and see it, but I just couldn't. This looks like Roman stuff. I can tell by the letters and the carving. Well, I'm just down by the fortress opposite, and just want to do a bit of truth telling. Like a lot of people on TikTok were saying, oh, you know, you made a video of the beach, do you know about the dirt in the water and all that? And I did. I documented it the other day. I mean, I'm just on my way along the river now for a walk, and the amount of sewage pouring into the river and the smell of the river is like pretty intense. There's a guy down there fishing, having a good time, looking like he might be onto a few, but I mean, it is just gushing into the water. You can see the water quality around the outflow there. He must be a really keen fisherman to sit in that with the smell that's coming along here. He's got a big fish on though. Oh my god, it's a monster. The tip of his rod is bent right over. He's just tiring the fish out. Look at the size of it. That is a good few kilos. He's got his net ready. It's close. Oh, nearly there, nearly there. Nearly there. Bring your rod back. Oh my god, I've got to move soon. I can actually feel the spray of the water from the outflow. That is bad. A monster poo eater. To count how many eyes it's got. Yay! Good on you, mate. Huge, great bloody thing. Monster. Wow, good on him. That's huge. Oh, what a stink. Oh my god. Hello, I'm back at the Novi Sad sign. We've come full circle. We've had a week nearly wandering around Novi Sad, checking it all out. A great city in Serbia. Really enjoyed my time here. Hostel's been great. Hostel passenger. Yeah, what more can I say? One more stop in Serbia before I depart this beautiful country. Yay! So that's the end of the vlog. Hope you've enjoyed it as always. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Perfect.